Well, good morning. Today is Saturday, November 18th, and it's time for our Weight Watchers meeting. I'm going to go over the book with you. We actually talked about the book this week. We usually don't, but this week we did. I'll start off with I did have a loss. I was very proud of myself. I weighed 251.6 this morning, so I had a 1.8 loss, which brings my total up to 52.6. I tried something different this week. I ate 3 meals, except for Thursday. I had a pretty good weekend, which I normally don't have a pretty good weekend. And I tracked. I did that all week. And so I was ready for today's meeting. Today's meeting was getting us ready for Thanksgiving. We have to remember that Thanksgiving is just one day out of the whole year. There's 365 days in the year, and there's only one day for Thanksgiving. And we can't overindulge. We can't just say that, okay, Thanksgiving's next Thursday. What's the point? I'm going to eat way too much and I'm going to gain, so I might as well just wait until the following week to start. No, it's going to be one meal. It's going to be a heavy point meal, which I'll show you later on because I figured out my meal for Thanksgiving. But you have to prepare for it. And like I said, there's 21 meals in the week, and that's only one meal that you have to worry about. So you have to remember to track all week. Exercise all week and be prepared. Don't be tempted. It's one day of the year. It's a special day. I always believe that you can go off a little bit on a special day. Don't go crazy. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to go crazy. But be mindful of what you're eating, but enjoy yourself, because if you deprive yourself and you act like a martyr, you're gonna just think, why did I sacrifice so much? And then when you get home, you're going to binge. You're going to eat stuff that, you know, you're not going to really enjoy as much as you would have enjoyed something at the dinner. And the quote she gave us for this week was, "It may be a slow process, but quitting won't speed it up." I so wanted to quit this past Wednesday. I just had one of those days, but I snapped out of it, and I had a 1.8 loss, so I'm doing pretty good. So today's book, I keep showing you, but it's The Great Plate. And before anything else, you have to know that preparation is the key to success. So we'll go over the book real quick. And it tells you it's all about the plan. At even the most bountiful feasts of Thanksgiving, you can choose what foods are worth it and which ones aren't. Which ones you're going to enjoy. If you can always have mashed potatoes every day of the year, wouldn't you rather have stuffing on Thanksgiving? So you have to decide, is this really something that I want? And even though preparing for the dinner might seem a little daunting, it's like, how am I going to stay on track? And I can't make diet foods because, you know, so-and-so is not on a diet. And, you know, they'll say, oh, Sandy's on a Weight Watchers diet, so we're not going to want to go to her house because it's not going to be anything good. No, you can eat, and Weight Watchers, you can eat anything. You just have to figure it into your points, and you don't have to deprive yourself. That's the beauty of this program. And chances are you can predict at least 90% of what will be on the table, even if you're eating somewhere else. You know there's going to be turkey. You know there's going to be stuffing. You know there's going to be like a green bean casserole. There's going to be desserts galore. There's going to be homemade bread. There's going to be risk. You just have to know before you go what you want to do. So you want to, if you have a turkey that's failed in the past, I did one time. I made a turkey, and for some reason my oven wasn't on the right temperature. We later found out that it was needed to be repaired. But my whole meal was done except for the turkey. The turkey was still, you know, like when you sliced it, it was still bloody. So we didn't have any stuffing and we didn't have any turkey, but everything else was done. So we just ate everything but the turkey, and we enjoyed the rest of the day. And then when the turkey was done, later that night we had leftovers that were, you know, left over because nobody ate as much since there was no turkey. And then we had the turkey and the stuffing. We had turkey sandwiches with some stuffing and gravy and a little bit of mashed potatoes and vegetables that were left over. But it's something that my family still talks about sometimes. And it's just funny. One other time my brother was going to barbecue a chicken, or turkey rather. That didn't turn out well either. So I mean, everybody has a memory of a failed Thanksgiving. And it's one day. And it's just, if you come from a good family, they may pick at you and joke with you and stuff like that, but it's in good love. It really is. And it's just, you can look, at the time I was devastated because I pride myself on being a pretty good cook. So I was devastated, and I really did. I went in the other room and cried. I was just so upset. But then, like my family pointed out, we're together. That's all that matters. That's what we need to be thankful for, that we're together. The food is not why we're here. The love is why we're here. And we have to remember that. And which points out, when you're with family and friends you love, it doesn't matter what you're eating. It really doesn't. Even if you have to go with someone that you don't really get along with, let them sit at the other end of the table and don't let them ruin your day. Thinking about your menu ahead of time, you can anticipate challenges like the gravy, the buttery mashed potatoes, and set your priorities. If there's an appetizer table out, decide, do you really want the appetizers, or do you want to really focus on the meal itself? And take a day off from tracking. It's just one day. That's not to say you want to go crazy, because you don't want to go crazy, but you want to take one day just to enjoy yourself. Call it a treat day. Don't call it a cheat day, because that day will lead into the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. And then the holidays are upon us, and then you're going to say, well, I'm just going to wait till the first of the year. I've strived all year to lose 50 pounds. It's taken me since December 31st last year, and I'm bound and determined I'm not going to be going from the negative and have to work my way back to where I was. My goal for the holidays is just to maintain. If I lose, that's a, like the cherry on the sundae, the cherry on the sundae. Yeah, the cherry on the sundae. If I lose, it's going to be great. I have noticed that I have a pattern where I lose for 2 weeks and then I gain for 2 weeks, and then I lose for 2 weeks and then I gain for 2 weeks. I'm stopping that. My strategy for the holidays, which officially starts on Thanksgiving, even though the Christmas music is already playing on the radio, is just to maintain. If I have a small loss in between, that's fine. If I have even a small gain, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But I'm determined that I'm not going to have I am not going to gain 5 to 10 pounds, because they said, I wrote this down, that the normal people, not normal people, but the normal weight gain between, it shouldn't even be normal, but the amount of weight that people gain between Thanksgiving and New Year's is 7 to 10 pounds. It takes me a long time to lose 10 pounds, and so I'm determined I am not going to be gaining weight during this holiday. And so what you want to do is, in the morning you want to eat a healthy breakfast. I can't eat a breakfast on Thanksgiving because we eat at 1 o'clock. I'll be up preparing the turkey and things like that, but I usually don't eat my first meal of the day till about, well, if you've just tuned in, I usually don't eat my first meal of the day till 1 o'clock. It's just a habit that I've developed over many, many, many years, and I have a hard time breaking that habit. So I'll eat my lunch or dinner, whatever you want to call it, and then later on at night I'll choose healthy again. I'm going to be mindful of what I eat that day. In the mid-morning, before things get too busy, carve out a few minutes to breathe, stretch, read, whatever keeps you grounded. I'll probably go for a walk. Once I get the turkey in the oven and I have all the tables set and I'm all set with everything, I'm just going to go for a walk and then, relax just a little bit, because I find walks very relaxing. After the big meal, bring your great plate, which is the plate which I'll explain to you in a minute, and snap a photo on your phone if you don't want to bring it, so you can just kind of look at your phone beforehand, just to kind of see what you had planned out for your meal. And consider all your options of your foods and bypass foods that you can eat any old day of the week. My sister makes a really good apple pie, homemade apple pie. I'm not a big pie eater, but she makes a really good apple pie. I'm going to have a piece of apple pie. I am not going to deprive myself of her apple pie. It's not something I'm going to have every day of the week. And I've already decided I'm going to figure it into my points, and that's what I'm going to have. After eating, wait 5 minutes before having seconds. A lot of times if you just sit there and talk with people in between bites, you won't eat as much. And try to be the slowest person that eats. And after the dessert, just get up from the table, and we don't eat our dessert right away. We usually eat our meal, and then we clean up, and then we probably play a game or something. Yeah, or the men watch, not all the men, but the women too. Well, we watch a football game. Some of us watch the football game, some of us play games, and then we have our desserts. And that's just how we do it. Okay, then you want to go to the Think Again page, and it says an unhelpful thought is, wow, look at all this amazing food. I know myself, I'm going to end up trying all of it. And the helpful thought is, look at all that amazing food, but I prepared, I kept my great plate. I'm going to swap it out for something I want and just have a little bite of everything. The unhelpful thought is, Aunt Jenny always wants me to take seconds of her sweet potato casserole. I have to or I'll hurt her feelings and I'll never hear the end of it. And the helpful thought is, I don't have to spend my budget on foods I don't like. I'll share my success with Aunt Jenny, say no nicely, and change the topic. Another thing which you could do, if you really don't want to hurt her feelings, is just take the smallest piece and then eat a little bit or scatter it around your plate. And if she offers you seconds, just say, I'm so full from that first bite. You don't have to have the seconds. But, you've already not hurt her feelings by having the first. I have my own traditional turkey that I make, so this is not going to be one I use, but you might want to try it. It's a lemon sage turkey. So just got to be mindful of what we eat. So some of the things that we brought up at the meeting is, I don't want to go over, is make Thanksgiving week work for you. Apply the same principles that you think about every day and what you've learned. Don't starve yourself. If you starve yourself because you know it's going to be a big meal, you're going to overeat. If you go there with the attitude that it's just another meal, but I'm going to share it with my family or my friends, you're going to really, really enjoy it. Keep your appetizers to a minimum. Decide, are those appetizers really worth it? They're usually just cheese and crackers and if it's a vegetable tray, you can probably, the best thing is to eat the vegetable tray because the vegetables are going to fill you up. And eat slowly and mindfully and pace yourself. You won't taste it and enjoy it if you just shovel it in. You want to just take a little bit of time to just, really taste it and savor it. Drink extra water because turkey is very high in sodium, and you want to get all that out. The next day you'll have a weight gain. Don't weigh yourself the next day because you're going to have a weight gain because of all the sodium and things. And you're not going to want to do that. Don't eat until you're stuffed. Eat until you're full. When you're having dessert, have a small portion and track it and move on. And remember, it's a special day, so treat it as a treat, not a cheat. And try to be active after dinner. Don't just sit around thinking, well, I want to go get something else. And don't be picking at it. Don't sacrifice what you want the most because that'll just lead you to, binging later on. And don't say to yourself, it's only one day, I can do whatever I want, because one day leads to 2, then 2 days leads to 3, and you just want to set yourself up with a goal. So what you want to do with your plate, I'll take a video of it to show you, is you want to divide half of it for vegetables, a quarter for starches, and a quarter for proteins. And you want to create a plate that's packed with eye appeal, choose colorful veggies, drizzle on your gravy, and give your food a little space so you can appreciate how it looks. I figured out all the points. I'm going to take a video to show you. I figured out my points. I get 34 smart points for the week, or 34 smart points a day, and I get 42 weeklies. I plan on saving my weeklies because I added up my dinner, which I'll show you on the video. It's going to be 39 points. That's a huge meal, but it's one meal. So that's going to be my weeklies. I'm going to stay on track for the rest of the week, and it's going to work for me. I'm not going to deprive myself. I'm going to have a good time, and I'm going to have the great plate, and I'm going to really enjoy Thanksgiving. So I want to wish all of you out there a happy Thanksgiving. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let me know how you plan on celebrating Thanksgiving, and share it if you think it'll help somebody. So I will see you guys next Saturday at our meeting. Okay, this kind of gives you a little bit of a plan of what different points are, value of things. And as you can see, I included desserts in there. My sister's pie is going to be 16 points. That's going to be the big chunk of my meal. But you know what? I only get it at Christmas and Thanksgiving because that's the only time she really makes it. And I'm going to enjoy every bite of it. And you want to remember to take all these hints in mind. And remember, it's like I said, it's one meal out of 21 for the week. And if you have that piece of pie, look at the Cool Whip is only 1 point for 2 tablespoons. Or if you have whipped cream, it's only 1 point for 2 tablespoons. So you can indulge a little bit. Have fun. Have a nice Thanksgiving. And remember, the point of the holiday is to be thankful for all we have in our life and our family and our health. And I hope that this helped you out.